Cape Town was a vibe. It was just a vibe. So let's talk about Cape Town. I've been to Africa twice. I went to the Exodus Summit in Morocco, and I went to the Exodus Summit in Cape Town. So I would say Cape Town is my first time on the black side, and it wasn't giving black. It was giving gentrification. It was giving colonization, but it was a phenomenal experience, right? So we went on a bar crawl, and I ain't gonna tell nobody business, but it was lit, okay? The girls were driving the boat. The girls were jumping on the stage. It was lit. And I'm not somebody who would have ever been there, right? I travel alone, which usually means 9 times out of 10, I'm not going somewhere at nighttime, number one. Number two, I'm probably not going to go into a bar club setting by myself, or just in general, because I'm an introvert. Too much smoke, too much noise, too many people. I don't want nobody touching me. I don't want somebody speaking to me. I can't dance. I don't like people. I don't like smoke. I like to sip on a cocktail, or sip on a glass of wine, but you know, I'm from New Orleans, so like all the drinking and the rah is kind of played out. It's been played out. It's always been played out. You know, it was too many things that I just don't like, so I just usually stay away. But I was thinking, when am I ever going to be in Cape Town with 100 black women? Like, this is the time to do it. If I'm gonna do it, this is the time to do it, right? So we went on this bar crawl. We had a phenomenal time. We went to this place called Cause Effect, and they had all these like funky drinks. Like there was one with like a bird cage. There was one in an egg. You know, it was very, very cool, and it was fun. Then we went to this like speakeasy place that I can't remember the name of. I'll find it if I can put it up. And that was exciting, albeit a little scary. We listened to some live music. I loved the jazz. There was so much jazz there. It was beautiful. We also went to a winery, which was gorgeous. And it was a phenomenal experience. It was amazing. I had the time of my life. I can't even think of everything that we did. We had this other experience at Gold's Restaurant. It was a dinner, and then also like a live performance. We had drum lessons. So much fun. I want to drum so bad, because I really felt like I don't have no rhythm. I can't hear music, but I felt like this was like, I was like, this is what I was meant to do. I was meant to drum. And they had dancers. It was just phenomenal. Everything was phenomenal. I feel like this experience connected me in a way to Africa in a way that I had never felt before. And it's kind of been something that I probably need to take apart in a way. Like, take some time and just really digest it. So the Gold's Restaurant experience, it was an amazing show, an amazing performance, but it was a space where the Exodus ladies, we were probably the only table of black people, either the only or one of two, right? And this is a huge restaurant with a lot of different kind of people there. There were, you know, white people, there were South and East Asian people, but as far as black people, we were like in the minority, even in this restaurant. And I think that's something to be said about blackness and black culture as a commodity, right? So on one hand, you have this group of black Americans who are having this sort of like, I don't want to say nostalgia, but it's almost like this existential experience, right? Because we're having this connection to something we may have not experienced a connection with before. I hope I'm communicating this correctly. And it's almost like a piece of us that is lost, that we're getting to have back in a way, but in the presence of people who don't have any connection to the culture. Does that make sense? Like at one point there was this kid who hopped on the stage and was like doing a dance as if it was a joke. So it's like, you're not taking this seriously because this has nothing to do with your heritage, or like you're not having this moment where you want to be closer to your ancestors, and this is what's going to connect you to them. So it's like, you know, I wanted this to be an experience where I felt like, wow, I'm home, when really it was just kind of like, oh, cool, this is a part of Black culture that I can purchase that is being sold to me in such a way because I'm also a tourist. I hope I'm communicating this correctly. On the other hand, I spoke with other ladies who have traveled to different parts of Africa, so like Ghana and Kenya, and they were saying that like when you arrive there, there's more of a sense of family and returning home. So like, I don't know if we have any readers in the group, so like Gyasi, she has this book called Homegoing. I know I messed up her name, but like begins as a story about two sisters who are separated, and one of them gets sent to America and the other one stays in Ghana. And so you can see the progression of their families. So like one family turns into obviously a Black American family, and then the other one stays in Ghana, and it's a phenomenal book. It's beautifully written. But it's one of the reasons why I want to go to Ghana. But I've heard that there's this like, and also because I feel like my husband in Ghana, but so I heard that there's this feeling of home that you get when you go to other parts of Africa, so like West Africa, East Africa, whatever. But I just didn't feel that in Cape Town specifically. I enjoyed my time. I went to Joburg to visit a friend from school. Hey, Steph. And that was extremely fun. And there were a lot more Black people, like not just in service, but also as customers. And I think that changed the dynamic a bit. Although I found South Africans to be extremely friendly and like kind and always willing to share a laugh. I can't tell you how many times people told me don't stress about something. I was like, you know what, you're right. I don't need to stress. You're absolutely right. I don't need to stress, right? And it's like, and it just made me think like another thing. I'm everybody's sister. I'm everybody's cousin. Like, sure. I feel like as Americans specifically, we carry a lot on our shoulders and in our heads. And you get to a place where everybody's like, hey, relax. Like, take it easy. Relax, sister. But that brings me to something that I've been thinking about recently, and I've been having like mixed feelings about it. So I really want to take the African Ancestry DNA test. Previously, I've been apprehensive about the Ancestry DNA test because I've read that they can keep your data and store it and use it for other things and sell it. And I'm usually really skeptical and apprehensive about programs like that have to do with, you know, medicine or taking my blood. Like, I'm just that person. And rightfully so, right? Like, we know as Black Americans that there's been a history in our country of people using our bodies. So this newfound interest in learning my African heritage is coming with a lot of mixed feelings. Because I feel like I'm not someone who is ashamed of being a descendant of American chattel slavery. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know my tree as far as like my family knows my tree. And so that to me has always been enough, because I never wanted to separate myself from my ancestors. I never wanted to look at my history with shame. And it almost felt like by seeking where my people came from, that I would be doing a disservice to the struggles and the difficulties of my ancestors who had to who had to settle in this land. Maybe I'll talk more about that if anybody's interested. But yeah, I think it's just bringing up new feelings for me, and I think I need to explore that a bit. But Cape Town was amazing, and also I definitely want to go back to Africa. At this point, any country. Any country. I think I'm gonna build my list up and figure out where I want to go for 2025. And again, I have to thank the ladies of Exodus Summit. Like, you guys are just dreams. You guys are my dreams. You guys are my hopes. You guys are my thoughts, my ideas, just in actuality. You are living the life that I never thought was possible. And because I see it in you, I know it's possible for myself. So thank you so much, ladies. So for more stories about my travels, my journeys, my dogs. Please like, share, subscribe, follow the Awkward Black Nomad on all platforms. I can't wait to keep this journey going with you guys.